What's up, y'all? It's your boy Eric Flo, live from Brooklyn. And in this video, I want to talk about depression. I want to talk about, signs of depression. I want to talk about how to, deal and overcome it and understand it. Things of that nature, feel me? So let's get into it, right? The number one sign I want to mention of you being depressed, and you may not even know it, is you waking up late in the day. Now, if you waking up late in the day, you probably not thinking nothing of it, right? But let me break down to you how it works to the point where you have to wake up late in the day all the time, where it's really hard for you to wake up in the morning, right? Before I get to that point of you are depressed without even knowing it because you're waking up late in the day. Before I get into that, let me mention this. The reason why it's hard for you to wake up in the morning is because you haven't mastered Nofap yet, right? Number two, you remember, when you first, a lot of people don't pay attention to, as you wasn't conscious enough to peep this, but depression has a starting point, right? Now, if you can remember something in your life that when you think about it is very painful, that's the weight on your shoulders. For me, that's the weight on your shoulders I'm about to refer to, because what ends up happening is that for me, for example, I remember when my baby moms left me, you know what I'm saying, and moved in with her ex-boyfriend the same month. And I went outside to go play basketball. I remember as I was playing ball, I felt like I had a 40-pound weight on my shoulders the entire time I was hooping. It was one of the scariest things I ever felt. Because I wasn't nowhere near out of shape, meaning like I wasn't fat. There was no reason for me to feel heavy. But see, the beauty of that is that's your first introduction to spirituality. Because if you could go through something, this is where I need you to really hear me on this. If you could go through something that can make your spirit feel heavy, that's showing you, that's your introduction, because you was so, caught up with life and making the wrong decisions that sometimes you need that wake-up call so that you can start doing what? Protect your energy, right? Now, you deal with a certain type of heartbreak from a certain type of woman, it's gonna make you be more careful dealing with women, right? Your man snake you, your family, do something funny to your family, snake you, your family treat you funny, it's gonna make you hypersensitive to the rest of the world. See, that's the power that depression, being depressed about the neglect I dealt with in my family, that's the power that I feel like it gave me, that I know it gave me, is that I'm hypersensitive to everybody else in this world that I'm not as attached to as I would be people that was in my family. As a kid, idolizing these people and loving these people so unconditionally. Now as an adult, now that I'm over that, and I can process certain things from a more logical standpoint, because I'm a lot sharper than I've ever been these past 4 years of me struggling with Nofap. Still, I took a lot of time in between them relapses to be facing myself. That's why you got to understand that the days on this journey don't define you. It's about what you do with them. If you're not spending time throughout them days when you're not relapsing to face yourself, you're just going to make the journey harder than it already is. Because the whole purpose of the journey is to get rid of instant gratification so that you can feel what it feels like to really be you. And that's what's hard. That's why you're waking up late in the day. It's because you depleted, because you keep relapsing. And that weight on your shoulders, you still ain't, you still feeling that. Plus you being depleted, plus your sack being empty. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be hard for you to wake up in the morning once you get that sexual energy build up, right? Once you start getting them day 90 Nofap SR urges where your joint is like this, pulsing in your shorts, pause. You think you're gonna have a hard time waking up? See, what also make you depressed subconsciously is that when you feel that power within you building up, the first thoughts that start to cross your mind is giving it away. See, you so lost that you don't even realize how crucial that mentality is that you have on a subconscious level. But see, that now that we can have this conversation and you can understand this type of stuff, you have to respect that knowledge, right? And stop allowing your past to control your present, right? Imagine how more depressing your life could have been. Living your whole life trying to wonder why, pray, wonder why. The law of attraction is not working in your favor. When yet, the law of attraction is directly correlated to your actions. So now, what can get tough on this journey and what can make you depressed is having to accept the mistakes that you make and how they're going to literally get you out of alignment with what you are trying to get in alignment with on a higher vibrational level. What can make you depressed is the fact that you have to respect that women are not going to really be attracted to you because you the type of dude to wake up early in the morning tossing and turning with urges to go give away your sacred energy to people that wouldn't care if you lived or died. That is the epitome of weakness. So it's not personal why these women are not giving you attraction. It's not. Because you as a woman, trust me, you would understand. It would take for you to be a woman to probably understand it that deep. Right? Understand that that's what's tough with having to face yourself. If you thought that you was depressed, not even knowing certain things, your introduction to the spiritual journey and being spiritually awakened, you'll start to realize, this is not definitely something to look forward to. Because it can be even more heavy. Now that you actually understand, why you were the way you were in the past and even why certain things happen the way they happen, whether it be, things that make you have the reasons why you have your PTSD or you dealing with hurt and pain and trauma. Now when you can actually see why, like, oh, this person is this way because of this, and I was that way and feeling this way and moving that way because of that. It's tough. And, this is why you have to understand that key point that I brought up about, not even realizing that you're depressed, but you're depressed. A lot of people in this world just lack so much understanding that there's so many people literally laying in a graveyard with understanding that you actually have that they didn't. That is the beauty of being spiritually awakened. And now you have to be you got to be a strong person to now do this, right? Once you realize that the reason why you waking up late in the day is because you have less life to live, less weight on your shoulders to walk around out here with, less feeling throughout the day that you just hurt and confused. And another sign of depression is simple things feeling more difficult than they need to be. See, the kryptonite, every man's kryptonite on this planet is the sight, because what it does is it takes away our natural ability to do things that we can do naturally. So now we have to gain power back that we already had. That's tough. That's tough that somebody like me struggles with communication. You got people out here that struggle with communication to the point where they want to be influencers, but as they making these videos, they got cut scenes every minute that they just take a breath for, every minute where they be like, and all right, let me cut that out real quick. I don't want them to see me that moment when I ain't really know what to say or I lost my train of thought. How is that gonna help you with your communication? You got people on a higher level that want to, move like they on a higher level, but they are afraid to show any sign of weakness. Yeah, it's weird out here. But understanding these things can be tough, but it's a blessing at the same time. And we have to understand that, the reason why women aren't attracted to us is because, think about you. Look in the mirror right now and look at yourself. Scan yourself up and down, and then imagine yourself conquering something like your sexual energy for, let's say, 2+ years. Just 2+ years. Mind you, we were supposed to already have this conquered for our entire lives. None of us would have ever been struggling with women. It's enough women out here to go around for everybody, because if I'm not mistaken, statistically speaking, there are more women on this planet than men, and you can look this up on Google and see for yourself. So not only can every man have a woman, because it's enough, but I think it's so much more women than men, to the point where I think every man could have 2 to 3 women. Now, imagine you conquered your sexual energy for just 2+ years straight. You reversing, you starting to realize, okay, it's hard for me to wake up in the morning because that weight on my shoulders, that's what it is. It's the weight on my shoulders from, the spiritual attacks that I dealt with. Dealing with people that never face themselves and that look to, seek fulfillment in exterior things. Like, for example, my ex-girlfriend, my baby moms decided to leave me for another man because on an external level, she was looking for him to fulfill something that I wasn't able to fulfill. That is a spiritual attack. Because now, if you are weak enough, you are going to go within yourself and be like, wow, he's better than me. Or wow, like, if she left me like that, then no woman is going to want to be with me. And every woman is probably going to do that. And then you're going to start connecting yourself to other people that have been through what you've been through. And you just going to be a sad dude out here instead of taking action. Instead of connecting to all of these bad stories about, things that people dealt with women that's made, seem very effed up. Except that you play your part. You don't have a routine, right? You don't wake up every morning conquering yourself, meditating, affirming, doing your push-ups for 2 years straight. Getting stronger and stronger by the day. Because the more that you don't relapse, the more strength that you're building up, the more testosterone you're building up, the less fog that you have mentally. You can actually communicate and not struggle with that. You can actually interact and just be on a day-to-day and not struggle with just even doing simple tasks, with just having simple interactions. That type of stuff can be hard. Now, what you do with that is, once you accept that, you have to be grateful and show gratitude. Number one, be grateful and show gratitude. Because you don't want to be as stuck up as you used to be on a lower vibration, asking for things that you don't deserve because you just didn't know better, right? Don't feel bad about it. You just didn't know better. But now that you know better, you got to do better. That's your blessing that you was asking for. That's the blessing that you was asking for, the low vibration, where you are now, to even be conscious enough to understand what I'm talking about and get your own separate downloads that come with what I'm saying. And even me being able to be conscious enough to even say that sentence I just said, to understand that you're not only just taking in what I'm saying, you reading between the lines and you picking up on things each and every one of y'all that's watching this video are picking up on different things that you need to pick up on that's going to work for you on your spiritual journey. So now once you understand that it's hard for you to wake up, you know, in the morning early and be productive, is because that weight on your shoulders that you are allowing yourself to fall victim to, that you wasn't really aware of. Now you got to start taking that weight. Get up early, 7, 8 in the morning. I challenge you all to start doing that, because I'm doing that now. I want to get to the point where I'm waking up at 5 a.m. because the opposite of depression is being strong-minded enough. Because, you know, fitness is not just about physical strength. Fitness is about mental strength. Being able to take that weight on your shoulders and do push-ups with it. Once you get to that point, and then you took the extra weight on your shoulders, did push-ups with it, and now you got more today to still live life. Imagine you waking up 12 p.m. every day, past 11 a.m. every day. By the time you get yourself together, it's already like 1, 2 o'clock. You eating, whatever. Now it's already 3, 4 o'clock. Because you'd have been scrolling on social media. I'm sure everybody averages scrolling on social medias for like 3 to 4 hours. Just being on there, interacting with other people. You're not even interacting with yourself at all. Because you woke up late. You ate some food. You scrolling for hours. Now by the time it's time for you to face yourself, which you wasn't doing enough of at all, you playing a video game probably now. Or now you eat again. And now you tired. And you scrolling until you fall asleep. You know, the phone has turned into everybody's teddy bear. That's what you cuddle with at night. That's what help you go to sleep. That's what sing you your lullabies every night, is your cell phone. You know what I do? I turn on a frequency binaural beat that plays for 8 hours straight, and I reprogram my mind with frequencies. Because you have to understand that music is frequency programming. Oh, you didn't know that? And if you do know that, then you understand that you shouldn't be listening to that too much of at all. Because it's deeper than just supporting the artist. This artist is rapping on a frequency that y'all end up listening to over and over and over, to the point where it is lowering your frequency and it's lowering your consciousness and your ability to even live day to day. To the point where you have people out here that struggle with even being able to be outside without listening to headphones. A lot I just said that I know y'all have to take in and process. Right? And I want you to also take this in, right? Taking the fact that you have to be careful about being vulnerable with everybody. See, the epitome of weakness is not understanding that. Let me tell you something. See, education don't really mean nothing, because you got plenty of people out here that's educated with degrees, masters, bachelors, all this good stuff. That's great. But guess what? If you don't have the proper street smarts, you could end up like one of my co-workers that told me that he had a bachelor's degree, but we was both making the same amount of money. How you went to school for 4 years to go study something that you can't even get paid for? How you went to school for 4 years just to end up, or 6 years just to end up in a marriage that is stressing you out to the point where you can't even do your job? Because you don't know how to decipher and analyze circumstances, places, and people. Right? It goes deep. Now, see, you don't want to be vulnerable with everybody on your journey of overcoming depression. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people out here. For example, now let's talk about people. Let's talk about you. You still struggle with even processing and having clarity and understanding certain things, the way you still waking up with that pain that you gotta force yourself to get up early in the morning and you feeling heavy. Let me show you how you depressed. Tomorrow morning when you wake up at 8 a.m. If it's hard for you to wake up, or when you stand up at 8 a.m. Stand up at 7 a.m. and feel how heavy your body feels. That's depression that you wasn't aware of. It shouldn't feel like that. You should be motivated to get your day started. Why? Because you know you're not in the position that you want to be in and you want to be better. But yet you still don't have the motivation to get out and go get this bread. You don't have the motivation to get stronger. Because you got circumstances and situations and people that you got to be aware of, that you have to be physically strong to make sure that you have to deal with. It's a lot that I can say in this video. It's a lot. And I'm not going to say too much more because I want to speak on this some more. I want to hear what y'all got to say in the comments talking about y'all journey, you know, with depression and just understanding certain things on your spiritual awakening journey. And we're going to talk about this more soon, man. Let me get back to my push-ups and get to this money because it's early in the morning. It's about 9-something a.m. I woke up at 8 a.m. I need to start waking up early on a consistent basis, and I want to keep that up. And we're going to talk more about this soon, y'all. Peace and love.